Here in this video lecture, we are going to learn how to write in decimals from place value table. So if a place value table has been given to you with some data in that, let's say that at the tens we have 2, at the ones we have 5, and at the tens we have 7. If this is the data given, and if these places are blank, that means that they are simply blank and there's no digit assigned to them. They are simply blank, so no need to focus on them, just focus on these tens, ones and tens. Now, if you have to write in decimal representation from the data that has been given to you here, how will you do this? That's very simple. At the tens place we have 2, right? That means that we have 2 tens. That means we have 2 tens. Now 2 tens means what? 2 times 10. Or in other terms, we can say that, in other words, we can say that the multiplication factor of tens is 10. Therefore, this will be 2 times 10 plus. This is 5 times, sorry, it is 5 ones. That is, we have 5 ones. So 5, what is the multiplication factor at the ones place? That's simple. That is 1 plus. At the tens place, we have 7. So it's actually representing 7 tenths, right? This is 7 tenths. As it was 5 ones, this is 7 tenths. Now, what fraction does 7 tenths represent? This represents 7 tenths. The fraction represented by 7 tenths is 7 tenths. So this will be written as 7 tenths. Now you may ask that, hey, the way we wrote here, like 2 times 10 and 5 times 1, can't we write it using some multiplication factor? Yes, of course you can write. The thing is that this, if you want to write in the form of multiplication factor, as it was here, for tens it was 10, for ones it was 1, for tens it will be actually 1 over 10. The multiplication factor for tens is 1 over 10, that is 1/10, and in this case this should be 7 times 1 over 10. The problem is it's actually multiplication of a whole number with a fraction. And how to multiply a whole number with a fraction, these steps you will learn in your next class, that when you will move to your next class. But still, let me tell you, whenever you have to multiply a whole number, right, like here it's 7, with a fraction like it's 1 over 10, simply remember that if there is any number a, let's take a as an arbitrary number, a can be written as 1 over 1. This thing we have repeated many times, right? So a can be written as a over 1, because if you will divide a by 1, you'll simply get 1, a back, right? So a over 1. So if a over 1 is multiplied by b over c, so a is numerator in this fraction, b is numerator in this fraction, so a times b over 1 is denominator in this fraction and c is denominator in this fraction, so this is 1 times c, right? So in this case, if this is 7 times 1 over 10, it can be written as 7 over 1 times 1 over 10, and this is actually 7 times 1 over 1 over 10, and you will get 7 over 10. That's simply what we wrote here. We explained you that how you are getting this 7 over 10, 7 tenths using the fraction method, and this is actually explaining you like what we did here. The only reason that we are avoiding this step, because the multiplication of fraction and all, this is for your next class, next standard, is 7th standard. So that's why we avoid using this method. Anyways, you'll get the same answer. And 7 tenths simply mean that what fraction will it represent, right? Now, this is 2 times 10 and this is 5 times 1. So this will be written as 20 plus 5 plus 7 over 10. Now, this is 25 plus 7 over 10. Okay, This can be written as 25, 7 over 10, right, in the form of mixed fraction. The other way can be that you simply take the LCM. How? Again, we can write 25 as 25 over 1 plus 7 over 10. It's again, we have discussed all these things in our earlier videos. So you will take the LCM and then you can simplify this addition of two fractions, right? So that is one way, that is using the LCM method and then solving. This is another way, that is 25 plus 7 over 10 can be written as 25, then 7 over 10 in the form of mixed fraction. We know that 7 over 10 is actually what? 0.7, right? It's 0.7. So this will be written as 25.7. So this 25.7 is the decimal representation of this. Now if you want to cross check, you can simply say here, what is at the ones place? 5. So we have 5 here. What is at the tens place? 2. We have 2 here. Then we have a decimal point. To the right of the decimal point always comes what? Tens place. So we have tens place here. And what is at the tens place? We have the digit 7 at the tens place. So this is correct. Let's take some example. Let's take, if you have at the hundreds you have 1, at the tens you have 9, at the ones you have 7, at the tens you have 6, and at the hundreds you have 8. Okay? Now, if you have to write in the form of decimals, then how you will write? What is at the hundreds place? At the hundreds place you have 1. It means it's telling you that we have 1 hundredths. So 1 and times the multiplication factor will be what? 100 plus we have 9 tenths. So 9 times 10, that is multiplication factor at the tens place, plus we have 7 times, we have 7 ones, that means 7 times 1, then plus, now we have 6 tenths. So what fraction will 6 tenths represent? 6 over 10. Okay, plus this is 8 hundredths. So what fraction will 8 hundredths represent? This will be 8 over 100. Okay, so in the case of hundreds, the multiplication factor will be 1 over 100. So 8 times 1 over 100 will be this one. I mean, it will come equal to this one. So if you solve them, this is 1 plus 90, sorry, 100 plus 90 plus 7 plus 6 over 10 plus 8 over 100. Okay. This will be equal to what? 100 plus 90 is 190. This is 197 plus, if you solve this, right, by taking the LCM method, if you take the LCM of 10 and 100, now look at them, 10 and 100. Since 10 is a factor of 100, right? 10 is a factor of 100. It means that 100 is completely divisible by 10. Therefore, 10 is a factor of 100. Therefore, the least common multiple, that is LCM, will be what? 100. So 100 is the LCM, and now you can solve it. So this will be 60 plus 8, and this will be 197 plus 68 or 100. This can be written in the form of mixed fraction, 197, 68, 68 over 100. This 68 over 100 can be written as 68 over 100 can be written as 0.68. So this will be 197.68. So this is the answer. You want to cross check, simply check. 1 is at the hundreds place we have here, 9 is at the tens place we have here, 7 is at the ones place we have here, 6 is at the tens place we have here, 8 is at the hundreds place we have here. So this is correct, right? Let's take one last example and just we are done with this. So in this case, I'm going to fill all these columns. At the thousands, let's say we have 7, then you have 3, then you have 2, then you have 1, then you have 0, and you have 8, and then you have 9. So for this one, simple. This is 7,000, so 7 times the multiplication factor for thousands will be 1,000. Then you have plus 3 times hundreds, the multiplication factor for hundreds is 100. Then plus 2 times tens means multiplication factor is 10. Plus 1 times 1 plus 0 tenths means what? 0 tenths means there will be no, it doesn't represent any fraction. So that is actually 0. And we have 8 hundredths. 8 hundredths means what? This will be plus, what fraction will this represent? This is 8 over 100. Plus 9 thousandths, what fraction will it represent? 9 over 1000. When you will solve it, this is 7 times thousands is 7,000, plus 3 times 100 is 300, plus 2 times 10 is 20, 1 times 1 is 1, plus 0, plus 8 over 100, plus 9 over 1000, right? So 7,000 plus 300 is what? 7,300, 7,320 and 7,321. So 7,321 plus 0 means simple, same, you get the bracket. And then we have 8 over 100 plus 9 over 1000. Now, if you'll take the LCM, what will LCM come? LCM will be again 1000. Why? Because 100 is a factor of 1000, therefore 1000 is the LCM. Simply write here 1000. Now this is, if you'll try to solve it, this will be 80 plus 9. You'll get what? 7,321 plus 89 over 1000. This is what? 89 over 1000. 89 over 1000. This will be equal to 0.089. I'll do one thing. I'll make a separate, video that how to divide any number with multiples of 10. Like here it's 1000. It could be 10,000. It could be 10. It could be 100. So simple. Just learn it. Like you have 3 zeros here, right? And you have 2 digits here, 8 and 9. What you will do is, since you have how many digits here? You have 2. And how many zeros you have here? You have 3. So 3 minus 2 means what? 1. So what you will do is, you'll write 8 and 9. You'll write 8 and 9. 1 means 1 0. then put a decimal point here and 0.089. That's a simple way. The main thing is, where should our decimal come, right? Had it been 189, right? Had it been 189, how many zeros? 3. How many digits? 3. So this would have been 3 minus 3. So what would 3 minus 3? That is 0. It means that we don't need to put any 0 in the final answer. So this will be, we don't need to put any 0. So this will be 189 and point. Okay. What if this would have been only 9 over 1000? 9 over 1000. So in this case, how many zeros? 3. How many digits? 1. So 3 minus 1 is what? 2. So what you will do is first write 9, and since it's 2 here, so 1020, then put decimal point here and then put 0, 0.009. So that's a way. I'll make a separate video on that just to tell you that how to do this. So what we got from here, that this will be 0.089. So this can be written as 732189 over 1000, right? So this will be 7321.089. Whatever is after decimal point, simply write it here. So this will be your answer, right? Just cross check. At the tens we have 0, we have 0. At the hundreds we have 8, we have 8. At the thousands we have 9, we have 9. Then 1, 2, 3, and then 7.